6 minutes past the top of the hour, and welcome to another beautiful episode of the Pan African Bliss. My name is Joby, and welcome. This is the media of the 21st century to everyone who's tuning in for the first time on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and of course, returning listeners on Spreaker, Spotify, and those who are also on the radio station, whatever stream you're catching us live from, because Black Fire Network, we are everywhere. My name is JOBY, and of course, welcome to yet another beautiful conversation right here with me as we get to talk about today the decolonization of African systems. And we talk about the decolonization of African systems. This actually, I'm heavily actually focusing on the system of education personally because there's been so many questions. Even yesterday, a question Kid actually posed during the Africa Today show, literally looking at the slavery, the colonial system, how they worked, whipped us so hard as Africans, largely where we were. But still, it's a question and misunderstanding, or rather, still a question of why Africans treat each other how they do. So today, the conversation actually is aligned. We're gonna be talking about the miseducation of Africans. I'm gonna be discussing on that. We're gonna also look at actually how Afrocentric education is so important on Africans, as we look at how we can actually decolonize the mindsets, and looking at also the effects of how colonial systems played a big role on miseducation. And along that, I have an article which one I'm going to be reading, talking about the miseducation of the Negro, and literally based on the 1933 Associated published edition, a certain published article that was done by Keita Godwin Woodson, and it was published in 1993. That is in Washington, D.C. by Associated Publishers. And of course, we'll be discussing that and see how this actually relates to the conversation of today. But along that, we're going to talk about what is happening, of course, back to Benin. Still, the coups are a threat to African countries, not just African countries, but literally the African puppet leading countries. And we've seen the rising of coups, which has been successful on the Alliance Sahel state, we know who the Alliance Sahel state right now consists of. And we have currently Namibia, which has shown interest on joining the same alliance. We have the Guinea-Bissau coup, which were yet to understand the clear terms that were made and the discussion that was had between ECOWAS and them, because after that we had ECOWAS in the country and they were trying to talk to the military leader to see how they can actually come into an agreement, which is not an agreement, but going back to the colonial system, which is what African countries are walking away from. We had Benin this Sunday, which had an attempted coup, but it was not really successful. And we're going to talk about how the UN chief is actually backing the authorities and talking about how ECOWAS took a very serious, effective measure regarding that particular coup. And we also have France, of course, which is also showing how they were involved also on ensuring the Benin coup was not successful, because remember we had Nigeria, which was used their military, which were yesterday 11 soldiers were caught in Burkina Faso. So it explains widely actually what has been happening within the West Africa, including the ECOWAS, West African countries, and the rising coups in Africa at large. But Karibuni, some of those are major conversations for today. In case anything is popping, not so sure actually of what is happening in Tanzania yet. I don't have so many information, but we're gonna talk also a little bit of also the 230 Kenyans. That is the troops, the first batch of troops are back in Kenya. Remember, we reported some of them were also deported yesterday, literally from Kenya to Haiti. So we're gonna talk about this because I bet they have something to say personally, but they won't talk about it because also the system you're dealing with. But karibuni sana, before we get into that, a quick reminder: kindly download our app on the Google Play Store. Black Fire Network is the name, and of course, through the application, you can get yourself amazing hoodies, merchandise. We have hoodies your size, your color. We have hats, we have t-shirts, we have handbags. I love seeing for your side chick, for your wife. You gotta keep both of them actually for you not to
Why,
be caught. Because
why
let me
somebody had to have a side chick? What are you talking about?
men are just men. Come on, I'm not you. Can you talk about? But let's not get into your era when you were young. You've discussed it. So I bet you had to suspend
Were they side chick? Who said I was ever? Who said I was ever committed to any of them? So they were just chicks. I don't know if they were side chicks. I wasn't committed to nobody. So
hold on.
uh,
You were never committed to a relationship on your young
hell
age.
no, hell no. Hell no.
Wow,
Well,
I think that's something you've never said. You've said it literally right now. You've said it
well, I was
literally.
got something I pretend to be committed. Was I ever like committed? Um, in my mind, no. Maybe in the
Yeah,
girl's mind, yeah. But was I ever committed?
men,
No,
men are lie.
no.
Men can lie. They've
Of
literally.
course, because listen. I tell guys when you're young, and even when you're a woman, I don't think you should get married or think about getting children after you're 30 till you mature. I think it's wrong. I was wrong to have children early. I think it's
That
all these fake societal things people give you. In a young age, there was no way I was disciplined enough to be faithful to any woman. Too many young women,
at
too
least
much coochie.
at least you share. At least you're honest. Not too much Gucci, but at least you're honest because when I try to look at me, I think yeah, like you said, for girls we have and the fact that women move emotionally. When you
Of
get a
course.
guy, you're like, "Ah, this is my man. This is my man. Like, yeah, I don't this is my man. Like, I don't care who's on the side, and I'm willing to do anything. This is my man. So on the other end, it's so crazy because personally, and trying to look at what you're saying, but it applies mostly to guys, so it makes sense. Being a teenager and having, let's say, the first guy you've ever kissed, the first guy you ever touch your boobs or even have sex with, big deal, especially in Africa, because for Africans, we've grown up with that
Of
um,
course.
mindset of you need to purify and maintain your virginity until marriage. And
Of
I
course.
think because of also the systems, the generational changing, we were like, this is bullshit. I'm not gonna stay till marriage for me to have sex, like and all that. Like all that, but also still having someone who broke your virginity or allowing someone to literally get access to your body, that's a big deal. I don't know if it
Of
applies.
course. Yeah, it's a
It's a
big deal everywhere. It's a big deal everywhere because, and knowing it now, growing up, who taught me that sex was spiritual and lovemaking was a spiritual thing? I ain't know none of that. All I know, there's a bunch of fine girls and I wanted them. That's all I knew. That's all I knew. I had one good one, and as a man, for us, sex is not like a women. Sex they take in. So women is more dangerous. Women don't give your bodies up. It's more dangerous for you because every sex part you happen, that shit goes to your brain and stays with you. It literally. Men, since I didn't have a father. I had a father. I mean, I'm not like the Somalis. You don't have a father. I had a father, but not like that Somali bullshit. I knew my father, but at that time, he really wasn't in my life. I was out on the East Coast. He was out on the West Coast in California. I was living in the East by Philadelphia and New York when I was a late teen and adults. I was living in what they call the Northeast, the Philadelphia, New York area. So I wasn't back in LA and California. So nothing he could teach me nothing. So at that time, going to school, oh my God, everybody knows this about Black America. Back then, before they had all the GMOs and the bad fast food, Black women, African women are gorgeous. Period.
Are you serious?
African African women are the best. So imagine when they're young, they're like 19, 18, 20. You're like, oh my, I was like a candy in a can. I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, oh my God, I had going to college, I had coochie overload. I was like, oh my God, they're beautiful and they're smart. Oh my God, this is the best. This is the best. So I would say, raise your men differently, guys. I mean, your boys differently. If they, especially in school, there's gonna be a bunch of beautiful women, but don't hurt. Don't hurt. I heard a lot of good people, a lot of good women, what I would call the best women, because I was fucked up. I think I paid for that.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I paid for that already.
you
Um,
did in your marriage, I guess.
yeah, I paid for it with a bad marriage because I could have any one of these beautiful, intelligent, great women. So, and I didn't. I decided to do a lot of bad shit, a lot of, like Joey said, women are emotionally attached to you, and I was just so callous and so vicious. Get out of here with that shit. I don't care what you talking about.
I
Get out
think
of here.
white maybe white worked for you at that time because I think we were discussing it last week somehow, talking about our college moments, what was happening. That was a topic of last week actually on one of the shows. I think reaction or
Okay.
recaps to Bonge. We're talking about our college moments. We were like, in college or high school, you never have emotional attachments, like both genders. I think it applies for both genders. Because for me, if I
Okay.
think at my high school moment, because I started dating when I was in Form 1, but I really didn't value the guy. The guy valued me so much. We dated for 3 years. I'd introduced him to my mom
Damn.
actually, but my
Three
mom
three
died.
years you didn't value the guy? God damn, you all messed up.
Until the last moments, I'm like, God damn, I really lost a good guy. And again, in the bridges, funny shit, we're still good friends. This Saturday, he came to see me. He left me some good
Wow. See?
presents.
See,
Yeah,
see, see, Joey's good. I don't know how Joey got me. I burned bridges down to the ground. I blew them up.
I think it depends. This time it fucked me up. This time it fucked me up. Destroyed my. I don't want to say my brand, but it fucked some part of me because this is someone I knew and I introduced you to. But at the same time, it goes back to me understanding this is nothing to do with me. This is something I dealt with, and I introduced you to the person, so it has nothing completely to do with me as a person. That was the person who's fucked up. So yeah, literally. 3 years of dating, didn't value the guy, and then bumped into another. I cheated on him actually after my mom died because I was so depressed, like literally so depressed. So I didn't know how to focus on this relationship. He wants me to be there. And I'm like, man, I have so much on my mind right now. My daddy's stressing me the shit out. You want my time. I don't have time for this bullshit. Like, I don't feel like I want to be in a relationship right now. And I cheated on him.
Yeah,
Then he
but,
decided
yeah,
to
because you're young. Don't be in a relationship. A relationship that young. I don't know. What? No way.
well, you have to understand my situation because I've talked about not only dealing with a sick mom, I was dealing with a really stressful father. So
Of
financially,
course.
for
I
me,
got
have
you.
not just having a boyfriend. For me, just not just a
Yeah, he
boyfriend.
was.
A
Yeah, yeah,
financial
yeah. Yeah, financially stable. Yeah, yeah. It was stability. I get it. I
yeah,
get it.
for me, you have to understand my needs. If you can't meet that, I'm out of the way. So I think that's one of the reasons why I cheated with him. I got someone who was richer than him, and
Of course,
I
it's
he
got, it's
died.
got. I told you guys every time. Hypergamy wins every time with women. Hypergamy is undefeated with women.
No,
Hypergamy is undefeated. It's
for me,
undefeated.
I don't think that works anymore.
Uh,
I'm not with the
uh,
hypergamy,
uh, because
but
you already got your because you got your shit together. That's why. But
yeah,
if you
so
from a woman that doesn't really have nothing, hypergamy is undefeated.
yeah, so at that time it's just about if you have money, yeah, we can roll. If you don't have money, I'm so sorry, we cannot move. Like this is not gonna
Yeah.
work for me. So yeah, it was nice. So that's why I'm saying for at the beginning, at maybe at the teenagehood, from college to from high school to college, there's never like relationship attachments. I believe for
There
both.
you go.
For both.
I know. I agree. Because hypergamy is undefeated. I've always taught you guys. Hypergamy is undefeated. It's undefeated.
Hmm. But
I told you because that's why I had to sell drugs because hypergamy was undefeated. Girls get, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Keith, you ain't got no car. Keith, you blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? I can't get no coochie because I don't got no car. I said,
yeah,
oh man, we got to change this.
yeah. If I can look at my younger relationships and relating to you as I get to our conversations of the day, is there's no attachment. You're just having fun. Like, hey, why do you
That's
want to be
right.
attached?
That's right. You're young. Exactly.
I don't want to get married right now. You're crazy. You're just living in your parents' house. That's what I want to be married to. Like, crazy.
All right.
But
I'm
let
sorry,
me.
sorry, Joe. I came and hijacked Joey whole show.
It's okay. Just 20 minutes of it. But Karibuni is our family. like button as you tune in. But as we start with today's conversation, before we get to the real conversation, which is about decolonization of the colonial system. And when I talk about colonial system, this drove me to a question you actually questioned yesterday about on the Africa Today show, which led to the Somalians discussion. You questioned why is it that the people in Africa don't understand the same historical events or the history you guys have, which is so relative to what we've had, because colonization affected us wholly.
It happened in Africa too. Colonization wasn't a party.
Yeah, so literally for us to be able to get into also the answering of that question, because it's kind of settled in my mind. That's why I was kind of shut. I'm like, man, I don't want to intervene right now. Kid is on the venting mode, but I'm going to come back with a reply tomorrow, which is today's conversation, because I'm heavy on talking about, even when it comes to critical thinking, which you say it's never applied on education. Some people are not born with it. Street knowledge is still not enough. I'm still heavy on how
Joby, how you gonna get Joby? How you gonna get Joby? Joby, how you going Joby? How you gonna get critical thinking if your IQ level is goddamn 68 to 72? And you still think it's okay? You still think it's okay to put your penis in your baby cousin?
Oh shit! I knew that was your opinion. But literally, to answer that, I'm going to be aligning some videos from TikTok discussing about the Africans' miseducation. We're going to also talk about the Afrocentric education and how important it is in actually Africans, because when you talk about miseducation, it goes back to Afrocentrism, because most of the things we're being taught is nothing to do with Africans. It's all based on the white man history.
It's Eurocentric. Education in Africa, Eurocentric, not Afrocentric. Exactly.
Yeah, so, and also looking at also how colonization played a big role on miseducation, because that is the key factor. Africans, if you look at our history, if you've been following up and interested in African stories, you don't need to discuss this anymore. Sometimes you feel like we're repeating stories. That's why I'm on a different topic, but it's the same. We know very well, Africans, we had our own system of education before the white men came here. If you talk about the Egyptian, all these systems that were built of education, where we had the white people coming to stay there for years, learning and studying us, because that's what they did. They were not just learning, they were studying us, literally, and our science, our natural science, which is, if you look at them, it's quite opposite of what they studied too. Because if we give them also the natural science, they just went and interchanged it, understanding our power, because that's actually this is a system of power. Again, understanding what you're talking about. It's a system of power. So they took what was powerful to us and interchanged it to be powerful, applying on their story. And that's why we have this confusion of who we are as a people, because all we've been fed is miseducation, misinformation.
True.
Who you are as a people, how you appear as a people, how you should carry yourself as a people. There's a video, not a video, but there's a picture I shared on the WhatsApp chat. I don't know if you saw it, Keith, of the guy who's skin bleached and her skin turned so bad. I don't know if you saw that. We're talking about that yesterday.
I'm cool. I'm glad. I didn't see it.
I'm gonna show it to you. Let me just light up my phone. But I'm gonna show it to you. That's the part of miseducation, because we're told to hate our skin.
It's different. Miseducation is self-hate. Not only did you miseducate, you was taught self-hate. Everywhere they went, not just in America too, everywhere they went, they taught you to hate yourself. They told you to love to be a mutant and a non-human being, and told you being an original human being was wrong. Can you imagine the psychopathy? You're told that the natural, first and true human beings on the planet, something wrong with you, not the mutants. And this is not me being racist. This is a biological fact. All non-Africans are mutants. That's a biological fact.
Period. But before we get into that, we have some news and information coming from Benin and why the coup actually was not successful. Of course, France
because of Nigeria. France and Nigeria.
Yeah, and of course
the puppet state. Oh, the giant puppet state of Africa. I told you Nigeria. Hey, I told you Nigerians have been keeping your mouth shut. And I'm telling you, keep it shut. Because if you open it, it's going to be Somali time for you too. Because you're next on the chopping block. And then you Ethiopians are next, and then goopy Jamaicans. I'm going to send a video to Joby. We're going to do that today. There's a comedian talking about you Jamaicans again today. That I said the same thing. He said, oh, you done kept your mouth shut. I told you these. You're known. You're Nigerians, you're Somali, you Jamaican. You're known as white boot-licking ass kissers. You think I'm the only one knows this? The whole world knows it. So you keep your goopy reggae on that island. Go ahead.
With the reggae music is live. Shout for my Jamaican brothers.
Good luck with that.
They don't understand my people, but what we have to go on is reggae music is live.
Wagwan, whatever the hell that means.
That's what we go on, period. But anyway, we have France, which has come out, or some news and information coming out. So apart from just Nigeria being involved on the unsuccessfulness of the coup that was happening in Benin, France has shown, and which actually relates to the video I was sharing yesterday. We saw the video which was explaining why there's a rise on coups, why ECOWAS is so tensed, which also shows the
because it's a white organization controlled by white people to keep African people poor. The AU is a white organization to keep African people poor. And the jig is coming to be up. It don't matter. It's going to be coup. You call them coups. I call them revolution. It's going to be revolution after revolution after revolution. Your time in Africa from stealing from black people is going to be up. It just is.
Period. But literally, the video I was sharing yesterday also explained further, which came to my understanding as I was sharing the video. We saw the US showing interest. Again, I'm going to go back on that matter. The US showed interest on improvising or securing the security system of Nigeria. They said we're going to come there, whatever the threats were. And then Monday, waking up to Monday, which was on Sunday, this was done on Sunday, but waking up to Monday, we saw France also showing interest, saying that they're going to also get involved on the insecurity matters in Nigeria. But this actually now, the dots connected to me yesterday. This is not France actually showing in. They don't care about Nigeria at this particular point. Their interest is the coups that are rising.
Of course, exactly.
Nigeria is being used and actually being broken. It's not just being used because the country is also being destabilized by them.
Yeah.
This country also by using it, which involves the chairperson of the ECOWAS, that is the president, to go to.
I think the new chairman is that moron in Sierra Leone now, Joe.
Let's see, who's the new chair?
Of ECOWAS, I think that moron in Sierra Leone. It doesn't make a difference. They're all bootlicks. It's that moron in Sierra Leone now.
Let's check.
They're all controlled by white people. So this is like Joey, this is white people. Saying, oh, these niggas are trying to get free and get rich again. We're not gonna do it. We're gonna try to stop it. That's why Bikini Faso said another plane flies into our territory, we're going to blow your ass out the sky. Because it was a Nigerian plane that entered Bikini Faso airspace. About, oh, we were on a vacation, Travis. All military people in there. Yeah, okay. Now we locking their ass up. And we're going to question these people.
Yeah. I didn't have information about that. Thank you for letting me know. I've been asked. So actually they changed it. That is Julius Madabio, the president of Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone, yeah.
This was an update done.
Remember, I don't know you don't remember. You don't want to let me know. So I knew from you. You said, Then he said, I'm now the president of ECOWAS, and you said, hell states, you'll fall in line and get your ass back to ECOWAS. Remember that? That game you told me, I was like, what? Some poor bum ass country like Sierra Leone trying to threaten somebody. Sound crazy as cat shit.
It's crazy. These people are puppets. You don't even know who is who. So it doesn't make a change, like you said. It doesn't really make a change. But yeah, confirmation. The new chairperson of ECOWAS, that is Julius, president of Sierra Leone. But yeah, like I was saying, the video I was sharing yesterday, it was explaining very well. This is nothing. France doesn't have any interest on the matters of security in Nigeria. They're using Nigeria for them to secure the rest of the West African countries, like the alliance.
Exactly.
We have, of course, currently we have Guinea-Bissau, Benin, which has showed interest on, of course, the revolution, and Namibia,
Revolution.
who has shown interest on that as well. So they're using Nigeria, not just using Nigeria. This is the crazy part. You're backbreaking the country, but you're also using it to actually attack other countries. And it goes back to
Exactly.
what I discussed yesterday. The division and neo-colonialism of Africa, by which I'm gonna still be heavy on division of Africa, is still very much active, leave alone the borders. Now we're being used to fight against each other. A good
Of
example I
course.
love citing is the Kenya Haiti mission, which we saw yesterday. A bunch of troops again was sent to Haiti, and we've had other 230 troops who were sent 18 months ago. Now they are back, literally in Kenya. So, and we discussed so much on that. I don't want to go back on that, but whatever France, this is very evident and based on the video I shared yesterday. It explained very well. This is where Africans need to keep an eye on. Whatever is happening in not just West Africa, but East Africa, but specifically East
All it's the
Africa.
same thing for all Africans. See, the thing about you goopy Negroes, the white man knows you're the same people. You don't. You like tribal games and all
That
that.
is,
No, no.
mhm.
France has revealed that it provided surveillance, observation, and logistical assistance to Benin's armed forces to help fend off last weekend's attempted coup.
Of course, because we're gonna lose our gold and mineral resources. We don't want this to happen.
Exactly. Exactly. Joey.
Right?
Duh.
The Elysee
It's giving Senegal. Oh, that oil is Senegal, but it belongs to
That's right. That's right.
we live in France, but whatever is in Africa that develops, we discovered it. We don't, not you Negroes, we discovered that.
Palace said on Tuesday that President Macron led a coordination effort and spoke to Benin's president, Patrice Talon, as well as representatives of ECOWAS. The West African Regional Bloc said it deployed a standby force using troops from Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone. On Sunday, a group of soldiers joined the military
And did
committee
you
for
and,
recommendation.
and pause that? And did you see the Sierra Leone ambassador go to Burkina Faso and beg for forgiveness about them trying to overthrow Burkina Faso and all that shit? Because now they're going broke. And even to they say, hey, get your ass out of my country.
Exactly.
Forgiveness.
Period.
Get your ass out of here.
Stormed Benin's state television to announce the coup. Just hours later, authorities said the takeover attempt had been foiled. The government said on Monday there had been multiple casualties on both sides and several soldiers had been arrested.
Yeah, of course they're going to arrest us. But we also have on this other end, of course, we're not
They've
forgetting.
already, and it's funny. See, they didn't waste no time. They already executed those guys. They
Exactly.
executed them. They didn't put them in jail. See, but see, when you find their spies, like the ones they found, like Burkina Faso last week, found a bunch of French spies. Oh, you better return them to France. You better not kill them. See, but when you try to get revolution, you're executed immediately. See how the black people done? They already, those guys who tried to overthrow, start a revolution, those guys have already been executed already.
The definition of power is given and not taken. Power is taken. I mean, power is taken, not given.
Not given. That's right. Try to
Today
take
in
it.
the morning, when I was coming to work, because I kind of came a little bit early today, so I was coming to work, then just minding my business. Then this
Yeah.
guy says hi to me. I didn't say hi. Okay, and then of course cowards. We have sadly again we have cowards of men in Africa, and this one actually you cannot even fight political battles.
That's what they know for.
The little battles you can't even stand for yourself as a man. You don't even know how to stand for yourself as a man even after facing rejection, right? So this is why I applied the definition of power is taken, not given. Exactly. So
Yeah.
today and looking at what is happening with Benin and France and or France being involved and all, you're not gonna be involved in my shit. I'm gonna face the shit out of you. So I'm coming to work. I was going to I wanted some fish to come cook for lunch, but where I
Okay.
get my fish, they had not like yet fried them. So they told me you're gonna take like 30 minutes, then you come back. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna come back here 30 minutes later. So I'm just gonna take some.
Damn.
So this guy says me, my outfit looks good today still. And he's like, hey, you look nice. I didn't respond. Then he goes
Okay.
ahead and says, oh, so you're using a Redmi phone. That's why you can't respond. You don't have an iPhone. Like, bitch, nigga. So you think women who have an iPhone, or because I look good, I need to have an iPhone for it to make me like a, that woman. An iPhone, that is what makes me that woman.
You talk about crazy in the head.
I'm still quiet. And then I bumped
Yeah.
into Cal, which actually was alighting from the matatu. So
Okay.
I'm still quiet. I'm not responding to this guy. He goes ahead still talking trash. Then the last question I asked him, you're really talking trash about me. What do you have? Because you're walking. You don't have a car. Your shoes are so dirty, nigga. When was the last time you bought shoes? Literally. So this is how you bash women after just because they can't respond to you. You're a weak ass man, and we don't need you in this society. You should be shot in the head. And I'm talking this when the police station. Actually, I just approached the police station. I told him, let's get to the police station. I'm willing to handle this case right here, right now. I got your time. Right here, right now. You have a problem with me? Let's get to the goddamn police station. You're a man. Stand up. He didn't, kid. He didn't. I usually remove my glasses. You are a man. You talking like a man who has some balls. Then stand up like a man who's got some balls. Show me you got the balls. Let's get to the police station. Tell me what's the goddamn problem. And if not, me to you. I'm gonna knock the shit out of you. The other guy like, oh, calm down. Oh, I'm not coming down. Don't fucking touch me. You from PC, you didn't even wash your goddamn hands touching me with your goddamn dirty ass dick. Like, are you crazy?
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Power is given, not taken. Because the problem we've had as
Of
women
course.
in Africa is also always having men coming to our faces telling us, oh, you look good, but you don't have this. Or you've worn this dress too short. But you can't even get, you don't even that, you don't have that.
And they saying exactly so that shit. You all fucked up. You're bummy. You're broke. You're cowardly. Get
You
out
don't
my
even have
face.
that type of a woman. You can't attract that type of a woman because it hurts you so bad. Because the same women you can't get literally didn't give you no attention. I was like,
Of
nigga,
course.
the shit out of them. Come, let's pop it. Like, Joby, why you mad?
You ain't got to knock the shit out of you. Oh, you just said you didn't have an iPhone. I said, okay, listen here. Listen here, bummy nigga. Get away from me. You're dirty. You're broke. Bye.
He went on and on and on. Then even another girl was in front of me, literally talked to me like, hey, just because a lady rejected your greetings, you're now
Your
talking
face.
trash. Lady, she's
Exactly.
not even your business, but now you're pushing the button. And I'd literally support her if she knocks the shit out of you. And the motherfucker is drunk talking to me. He's drunk talking to me. I'm
There
gonna
you
knock
go.
the shit out of you. You crazy? Like, this is the definition of power is not given, it's taken. Because men for so long we've had a dominating society of men always want, oh, this is wrong for women, oh, this is right because they didn't say hi, that is so disrespectful, or these are your elders. Fuck you being my elder. I don't give a shit if you're older than my great grandmother. Don't disrespect
Yeah.
the shit.
Exactly. Respect is respect. Exactly. Respect is earned, not given. I don't respect you because you old. Fuck is you talking about? That's all that goopy Africans. You don't. I don't respect you because you old. Because you're an old dumb nigga. I'm supposed to respect. No, respect is earned, not given. You earn respect. You don't give you respect because you old. Because you might be an old fucking fool. Because you old. I'm supposed to respect you. Fuck out of here. Get your old ass out of here.
Literally, that's this what we have of African men. It's a proof of why we have these political leaders and all
That's
the
why they get. That's why the laughing starts over playing. I told you, this not my. That's not me telling you. It made. I'm an African man. It's upset at me, but we're considered different than the African on the continent. That African men are considered cowardly, and that's why they always beat up everywhere. Like see all these videos of them getting their ass beat everywhere.
oh, like, man, for a minute, it got me angry, but I'm like, man, I look too good to be angry. Let me raise my chin, head
Exactly.
high.
Why be
Let me,
angry?
let me give you my catwalk. Literally, don't play with me. My head high, my chin up, and smiling. Don't fucking play with my day. But I gave him his work. I like, was the friend that say, hey, calm down, don't fucking touch me, nigga. You from piss hands, you're touching me with your dirty hands. Don't fucking touch me. You crazy. But literally that, and then Kamlesh popped. She was like, Joby, why you mad? I'm like, hey, this nigga is pissing me the shit off. Like, he's trying to talk shit. He's like, do you want me to deal with him now? I've already dealt with me. Like, I've already dealt with him. Dealing with him past this is gonna be beatings, and you know yourself. We don't wanna get into that. We're gonna get into the cell right now. We're literally opposite the police station. So let's not get, all dramatic and all that. But Africans, the reason why we're being taken advantage of again is also the how we reason. That's why we also have these politicians always playing mind games on us. Because if a woman can just get you mad, can politics get you mad the same way? That's the good question. Actually, even got me to my head. I'm a woman getting you mad because of just rejecting you. The government is denying you your whole life, stealing everything from you. They're extorting you, exploiting you, and you don't go face the same government. When they pop up, give you 500 Kenyan shillings to vote, or whatever they give you, you turn up on the street shouting like children, being commanded. The same thing we had yesterday when I was sharing the video of Tanzanians when they were told to stay at house during Independence Day, which was yesterday. And someone commented on one of the videos I was sharing. He said, the fact that you people actually panic buy, it's a show to the government that actually you're complying to what they are saying. Because every time, and this is systematically, every time we have...
It shows, it's exactly, it's still showing the Africans are cowards. And you'll do what you're told to do like children.
Exactly, because every time, don't get out, this is gonna happen. The same thing happens in America, sorry to say. I mean, that's why I'm saying it's systematically, it's globally. People go buy, you guys speak about tissues. I don't know why people go extra on tissues. It's crazy.
I don't know. I don't understand that either. That ain't like a bit of wipe their butt or something. I don't know.
The fact that you produce even the tissues in your own goddamn country. It's not like you're waiting for China or Russia or whatever. It's crazy, man. It's not like us. We have to wait. I don't know who we're waiting on for us to deliver us tissues until they're out of stock. But talking about decolonization of the mindset, because the reason what looking at Benin, Alliance Sahel state, the continent of Africa, what it is facing today, because sometimes I'm hit to the question of every topic I keep on talking about. Sometimes randomly I'm hit with some random questions in my head. I'm like, God damn, we really fucked up this way as a continent. Like, how did we
because
not?
You didn't know because you didn't know that, Joby. Exactly. You didn't know all that stuff. You didn't know all this growing up. You didn't understand how deep it goes because of the educational system.
Exactly, and this goes back to nothing even doing with me because
just like with airtime. Remember we first got airtime like, well, not everybody, and it's like this. I don't know, airtime. You're woefully ignorant. You have no idea how Africa works. You have no idea how Africa people are stolen from. You are like most African. You are woefully ignorant, and that's just because of Africa's. It's on purpose. It's on purpose. Like keep stealing from you. Go ahead, Joe.
It goes back to the question, like I'm saying, I'm hit randomly with some question of the topics I talk about, and sometimes I can bump into some really dumb ass shit. I'm like, God, I'm really fucked up as a people, and it's sad because the fact that for 5 years I've been interacting with Black Americans. I've been in this platform where we have our audience who are mostly Black Americans, understanding the history.
Shout out to that Kenyan American telling the truth.
Shout out to the Kenyan guy, literally, because there's information until you understand what division. Actually, until you understand what division and how division works towards Black people, you can't also understand the history. And that's why you have to go back. I don't give a shit. You have to go back to history, understand why we have current effects. Because this old traces are, it started from some for us to be.
Exactly. If you don't go through, if you don't know through history, you're gonna repeat it. That's why you gotta know history. You got to know it. You got to know why we fucked up. What happened to us? What caused us to be in this position? You can't go in the goofy Quran or the goofy Bible and say Jesus and the Lord and all that shit. SpongeBob ain't real, morons. Okay? You got to know real history.
literally looking at the question you posed yesterday, which was a very important question. Like I said, I do want to interrupt also the alignment of your conversation as much as we're
You could
here
have
to
asked the question. I was just ranting. You could have asked it.
want to answer it because it's the same answer I give, and I wanted us to discuss it
Yeah.
today as a topic now
Okay.
because it all goes
Okay.
back to education. Because your question was, how comes this? I'm gonna put Africans in the whole basket, not just Jamaicans, Nigerians, Somalians. Like you said, yes, Kenyans are quiet, but I feel like that's why we keep on saying. Even yesterday, we said it on the show on our reaction time. Kenya, even Kamlesh said it actually, and Shmani, Kenya is not gonna be an easy country to actually colonize again. It might be happening. I'm not gonna lie that it's not happening
They're
because
trying to, but I don't think it's gonna be. So, Captain, they're trying to, but it's not. Like you said, it won't be easy again. Exactly. There's too many people know what's going on in Kenya. Go ahead.
exactly. So many people have dug again, going back to history. So many people, especially since
Hmm.
last year, have shown, which I even read towards the end of last year, the percentage that rose on political research, interest. Kenyans have literally shown the most interest in politics for over maybe 10, 20 years, literally, like more than they have for the last years.
Yeah,
So
I
it
got you.
shows people are most in of course invested on what is happening in the country, and everything that is happening in the country affects us economically. Because I'm just from buying. What am I from buying? I'm from buying Skuma Wiki, want to
That,
make some lunch, and I'm just hearing Mama Mboga is saying the economy is tough. You know how crazy that is for Mama Mboga to say economy is tough, and the fact that people eat vegetables every single day. My God damn.
I ain't got no money for me. Yeah, the economy. Yes, bro.
Like it's
Everywhere.
December. You're not supposed to be talking like this because December is like the most selling period of the year. If you talk about clothes, if you talk about
That's it.
alcohol,
That's everywhere. That's exactly. That's everywhere. Exactly. It's the most. Ain't nobody buying shit in America either. Everybody broke. Exactly. The economy sucks globally.
it's so crazy. So, miseducation is actually the key answer to the question you are asking yesterday
Mhm.
because we're given two parts of history. Again, there's what we see, and looking at the mainstream media, which has been our only focus before the phones. Understand this? Before the phones came, now that people can film, show the real reality of the things that take place
Of
on the
course.
ground. We used to rely on the mainstream media, which was filtered with the lies and truth. And then from that, people just go along with the story. But now, today, it's different. People see the truth, they can record the instant truth at the moment and show evidence. This is why you can see some people, not majorities, but some black people to be specific, they can win some cases and some cannot win some cases. If you have like what's the name of this guy who always pops out when black people are shot? I forgot his name.
You talking about Benjamin
Benjamin
Crump?
when you have Benjamin Crump every time, come on, that case, that's solved by the government. But yeah, you got some evidence, but this is not gonna go anywhere, right? We're gonna give you some money and then keep quiet at the end of the day. But real,
That's right.
yeah, like real. Today, at least some people can be able to get
That
that
but
justification
that,
because
but that's why
uh,
social media got ahead of them. That's why now they're trying to clamp down social media because it's destroyed their fake narrative, the fake news. Because nobody gets their news except for old people from the news. They get it from social media. That's why they had to take complete control. Well, they created social media. They want control of all of it, shut it down, because they want their fake narrative out there. So they fucked up and realized they got ahead of them, and now people have been breaking through their propaganda. Like whoa. Because like you said, your parents and the older generation are so propagandized. So even my goofy brother, that ain't on the news. Like what? What are you talking about? I ain't seen that. I ain't seen that on the news. That ain't real. They ain't been on the news. This motherfucker crazy.
crazy. But shout out to Sister Michelle in the building, John Mosquito. Let me start with this video talking about miseducation. I'm gonna play a few. Then we're gonna go to Afrocentrism education or Afrocentric education, how it is important to Africans, and also how neocolonialism played a big part on miseducation for us to get to the conclusion of decolonization of the mindsets and why there is misinformation from both ends. Because I feel like for the past few I feel like this whole year has been a whole drag of African Americans and Africans, literally. Those are the topics we've been discussing the whole of this. If you look at it, from the beginning of the year, it's been, oh, Africans, Americans don't have no culture. Africans don't have no culture. From that, now Jamaicans talking crazy after their hurricane, whatever. It's
A storm.
like, can we just get educated?
I'm trying to remember the author of a book I just got, The Miseducation of the Negro. I do not think it's only even African black people that are miseducated. I think in general, education for black people is something that is just learning. You know, something for you to put in your head and regurgitate when asked. Because you have to understand that as colonial masters and slave masters, the only education black people were supposed to get was education to serve.
Exactly. Literally. Education to serve is, these are missionaries when they come here again. That's why we had the video I was sharing some, I think last week, where we had the South Africans saying, oh, our visitors, we had the first G20 summit and you're trying to show our visitors the bad behavior.
Exactly, Joey. You were educated to be a slave servant.
We're supposed to submit. Oh, the slaves came. Oh, the slave masters came. Let's bow down to them. These are our missionaries. We didn't know anything as Negroes. They taught us how to read, to write, to talk, to wash our asses, to eat, everything. So,
Isn't it funny how language and reading and writing was created in Africa, not by them?
So you know enough that this is a red file. Bring the red file. You understand? Okay, sit down there, write this paper. So you should be able to read and write. It is not an education.
Exactly. Critical thinking. He said forward thinking. I call it critical thinking.
It's not an education for organization.
No strategy.
You understand? Not a full education. It's learning. It's just okay. Go and
There's no illiteracy in that. It's illiteracy.
Book. Okay, go and be a banker so you can help us launder money. So you have to understand that. So,
literally, do you even think about that? Go be a banker so you can help us to loan that money, which is going to be paid in interest back to our system, which is the same colonial system that controls your banking system.
Exactly. That's what he's saying. Exactly. That's factual.
Our education is not orientated towards black self-identification or black self-knowledge. So a lot of black people grow up with black hate, with lies like, oh,
exactly, black hate, which you talked about, the self-hate case.
Black people sold fellow black people into slavery, when the majority of slaves were actually stolen and kidnapped.
Well, we can't also deny the fact that we had like
white people. You had a few, but that was a white European institution. Yeah, you had some corrupt Negroes, you always do. But they weren't the majority of selling other Africans into slavery. That's white people trying to dirty up the water. It was some of them niggas, you niggas were selling yourselves to us. But you could have said no. So you told them if they didn't sell some people, then you would snatch them and sell their family. So it's always some nonsense with white people. You had a few corrupt Negroes, not a bunch. Good.
Many kings fought and wrote letters to the queen demanding the return of their citizens that were kidnapped and stolen, and they were largely ignored.
Exactly. That's it. Exactly. They fought wars. See, also that was tell people, these goofy black Americans that are dumb and ignorant. You had wars in Africa, wars fighting to get their people returned. So you don't know that part. The white man ain't taught you that. There were wars in Africa over their people being stolen and taken away into slavery. There were wars. So that's never taught in your goofy books, because a white man ain't gonna tell you that don't serve his purpose. He gonna tell you, oh, a lot of you goofy niggas sold each other. Yeah, I thought you backward and fucked up, and you don't like each other. You sold each other into slavery. It's your fault. He said, what? There were wars in Africa over slavery. Go ahead.
The Ashanti king not only fought against, wrote letters, he demanded that the British come and set up that the only trade he wants to do with the British should only happen if the British is able to set up a gun factory in Ashanti land, and then he's willing, but they refused at that still. We want.
Of course, you're talking about defeating a war because we're demanding for the same weapons that they're using upon us. If I'm trying to understand what he's talking about.
Exactly, and he said no, and so of course that was going to cause a war against that. He said the Ashanti kings in Ghana said no, absolutely not. Of course, so then it was a war. People forget Ashanti went to war. All these people went to war with England and France. So, and they tell you, oh, we came with our missionaries. Black people, and there's another dirty secret. Black people were forced to take Islam and Christian sanity. Black people said no to Christianity. They said, fuck that fake religion. You never taught that. They said no. And so after these wars, they took the babies who would be your great-great-grandmothers into their schools and forced them as babies to learn this bullshit about a white man being a god. The Africans said, no, we're not worshiping you motherfuckers. How are you talking about? Now you go to heaven, oh, that's our religion. Said, no. Wars, you were forced to take that religion. Mm-hmm. Christianity is not your religion. Told you, SpongeBob ain't real.
Trade of manufacturing and goods, but they were just interested in.
I like my SpongeBob, even if he's not real. Even if he's gay.
I like SpongeBob too. He's funny. That was my favorite cartoon with my kids. I love that shit. But I know he's not real. And I like SpongeBob. I'm not worshiping his ass because I know he ain't real.
John helps us, because he's just filled with.
They educate us to make us stupid, and we don't realize it.
So you think it's we are confused? Is that what you think?
All those of us who have been educated we are more foolish than we were before we went to school. We are more foolish than we went.
What's the solution?
We have to transform our educational system.
How do you start?
First of all, the starting is to remove everything which is faith-based from an educational system which is science-based. You don't combine faith and science together because faith is not based on human observation. It's not based on empirical.
Exactly. Thank you. You gotta get rid of all these goofy religions in your school. That's why they gave it to you. But in Europe and America, it's illegal. They gave you that goofy ass faith and Jesus. You'll be studying Job or whatever goofy book she was in school, reading that goofy shit. No, you need science. You know what? You used to teach science. The Africans. Okay. Africans didn't have religion. Spiritual science is real. They had to do observation, and then it became spirituality because they could prove it through science. So that's why African spirituality today is called quantum physics in your advanced schools because it's real. Africans didn't worship fake shit. They had to observe it and prove it. That's why it's called spiritual science. It was science-based. That's why you do African shit today. It's real. It's real because it's science. It's not some goofy cracker walking on water, turning bread into wine and all this make-believe shit you talking.
Anything
SpongeBob,
so
SpongeBob going out and dying on a cross.
Together. We must separate the faith from the science. And let's focus on science.
All educational systems should be changed, and there should be no religious studies. We should study principles of justice, freedom,
study that shit at your house.
Love.
With Joby's daddy, the bishop.
Remember even at the house.
Study that shit at Joby's house with the bishop, but not at school.
Well, remember, they're also coming for you at homeschooling. Remember, we discussed this last month. Homeschooling is all
exactly. Of course.
Yeah, so no more.
All that. Not religion, because many people say religion teaches morality. No, there is no morality.
If there's morality, we should go back to what we were discussing yesterday at night. Why do Muslims practice pedophilia? And
It's all fake, Joby. These motherfuckers have never been moral. The African were the most moral people. You don't have none of these religions. You're the most loving, the most moral people on the planet. That's what you used to be when you got these goofy religions. So if you got these goofy religions in Africa, why is Africa scamming? The motherfucking Nigerians are Christians and Muslims, why are they scamming? Wallace is a Christian, why is he scamming? So please, with that morality shit, okay? With your goofy religion. Your religion has nothing to do with being moral. I don't believe in none of it. I know it's all fake, but I'm moral. I have integrity. I don't cheat people. I don't rob people. I don't kill people unless I have to. But, other than that, I don't need no goofy fake. I don't need SpongeBob to teach me that. Go ahead, Joey.
Okay, let me go. Screen. Damn it. There's my screen. I removed it. Okay, so let me just go to the Afrocentrism education. Yeah, I think I shifted. Yeah, to the Afrocentrism education and how, because the other guy questioned how can we shift or reintroduce a new education, and the guy said we can't fix faith and science, which is also a fictional science, with the real science, literally, if I'm trying to understand it very well, because we
he said we can't have faith like people in the Bible, like Irton. All right, I'm not trying to be Irton believed the Bible was real. It's not. You can't use that as science, Joey, on them stories. Nothing in that Bible, Quran ever happened. It's all fake. You got to have real science and history. It's got to be based, like you said, on empirical evidence. It's got to be provable. You got to have real science. You can't say Job jumped in a fish and he was ate by a fish and it swam around the world and then he came back there. What is this shit here? Your mind can't be filled with bullshit, Joby. You got to know real science. There's Moses told Pharaoh to let his people go, and they walked in the desert, and some of them died. What? Hey, listen, shut up. Shut your goopy ass up.
A is for apple. A is for apple. A is for apple, is for that child in that part of the world where apples grow wild. Who has an apple in her lunch bag? Who goes to the grocery store with her mom and sees red, green, yellow, apples of all shapes and colors and sizes? And so introducing education to this child with an alphabet sheet like this fulfills one of the major functions of education, which is to introduce the learner to an appreciation of the learner's environment and a curiosity to explore more in order to add value. In my own case, when and where I grew up in Africa, apple was an exotic fruit. 2-3 times a year, I could get some, yellowish apples with brown dots, signifying thousands of miles traveled, warehouses stored in to get to me. I grew up in the city to very financially, comfortable parents. So it was my dignified reality. Exactly the same way cassava fufu or ugali would not regularly feature in an American, Chinese, or Indian diet.
Of course.
Apples didn't count as part of my reality.
It didn't.
So what this leads to me, introducing education
to actually explain what she's saying. For her saying apple was something she said.
She said A is for apple is bullshit because it wasn't part of my reality. So you're taking on other people's reality that's not part of your. A wouldn't be for apple for you. It'd be something else that's part of your living system. So to put that as your educational foundation is idiotic. That's what she's saying. Good.
To me, with A is for apple, made education an abstraction. It made it something out of my reach. A foreign concept, a phenomenon for which I would have to constantly and perpetually seek the validation of those it belonged to, for me to make progress within it and with it. That was tough for a child. It would be tough for anyone. As I grew up and I advanced academically, my reality was further separated from my education. In history, I was taught that the Scottish explorer, Mungo Park, discovered the Niger River. And so it bothered me. My great-great-grandparents grew up quite close to the edge of the Niger River.
Yeah, for thousands of years. But some white man in Europe, somebody he discovered it. And Africans have been there for millions of years. Millions! See, this is the craziness of you, that you were supposed to tear down this shit as soon as you got supposedly independence back in the 1960s. You're supposed to throw all this European garbage in the trash. Good.
I mean, it took someone to travel thousands of miles from Europe to discover a river right under their nose. No. What did they do with their time? Playing board games, roasting fresh yams, fighting tribal wars. I just knew my education was preparing me to go somewhere else and practice and give to another environment that it belonged to. It was not for my environment where I grew up.
Exactly. It was to teach you to go, like the guy said, go work for white people, extract money from your own continent, hate yourself and your people. That's what you're dealing with the goofy puppets in Africa. They hate African people. They've been taught to extract wealth from Africa to Europe. This is what you've been taught to do. To hate you, yourself, and African people. That's why they won't develop shit, because they hate themselves and hate African people. Right? So that's what you've been given. Go ahead, Joe.
I undergirded my studies all through the time I studied in Africa. It took a lot of experiences and some studies for me to begin to have a change of mindset. And I will share a couple of the remarkable ones with us. I was in the United States, and I got this consultancy position with the World Bank Africa region. And so I remember one day, my boss, we were having a conversation about, on some project, and he mentioned a particular World Bank project, a large-scale irrigation project that cost millions of dollars in Niger Republic that was faltering sustainably. He said this project wasn't so sustainable, and he bothered those that instituted the whole package. But then he mentioned a particular project, a particular traditional irrigation method that was hugely successful in the same Niger Republic where the World Bank project was failing. And that got me thinking. And so I did further research, and I found out about TASA. TASA is a traditional irrigation method where 20 to 30 centimeter wide and 20 to 30 centimeter deep holes.
You learned that the African knowledge did it better, and the white man didn't want to do it because it was going to be beneficial for him, robbing money from you by getting back these fake loans. You learned that the World Bank that you were working for was anti-African. It was there to keep you impoverished. That's what you're learning, George.
And then a small dam is constructed around the field. And then crops are planted across the surface area. What happens is that when rain falls, the holes are able to store the water and appropriate it to the extent that the plant needs, the water. The plant can only assimilate as much water as needed.
And you know why an African lady, you know why you know that better? Because Africans have been living there for millions of years, and they know from experience what works and what doesn't. But you let white people come and tell that you're stupid and backwards and to do shit that they done when they never been in that era ever, and just learn how to wash their funky asses a couple 100 years ago.
Niger is 75% scorched desert. So this is something that is a life or death situation, and it's been used for centuries. In an experiment that was conducted, a plot of land, two similar plots of land were used in the experiment. And one plot of land did not have the TASA technique on it, similar plots. The other one had TASA technique constructed on it. Then similar grains of millet also were planted on both plots. During harvest time, the plot of land without TASA technique yielded 11 kilograms of millet per hectare. The plot of land with TASA technique yielded 553 kilograms of millet per hectare.
Right.
I looked at the research, and I looked at myself. I said, I studied agriculture for 12 years, from primary to to senior 6, as we say in East Africa, SS3 in West Africa, or 12th grade. No one ever taught me of any form of traditional African knowledge of cultivation, of harvesting.
They don't want to teach you that because they don't want to teach you that, lady, because that works. See, remember, they destroyed all your history when they took your great grandmother to these fake schools, said you're backwards, you fucked up, your great granddaddy. And so now you don't know none of your ancient African techniques that actually work. There was no starving in Africa. So all your techniques work. Go ahead, Jimmy.
That's why we have the South Afrikaners, literally however you call them, South Afrikaners.
This called the Afrikaners.
Yeah, literally, who are calling Africans lazy when it comes to farming, because exactly how she's at. Personally, at a certain till I think till class 5 or 3, we had some certain still very much active curriculums in our system of education, but today they're not even there. When you talk about practical skills, like when you talk about planting a tree, this was actually mandatory for all schools, where we used to, like, we're gonna plant trees, we're gonna have other people coming to buy maybe from the school, then we plant more, which of course is to enable the greenery of the environment.
That's good. Of course, that's the country. It brings water. Exactly. So it keeps your water table good. So if they taught that in school, which is great, why were they beating up that lady for growing trees?
Because that system of education was lost. That's what I'm saying. That I grew up with that, but now along the way, this was no longer like a thing. Even when we talk about even the access of libraries, literally, we've talked about this a couple of times. For me, I went to a school where we had libraries, we had books, but we didn't have access. It's only for specific days and for specific students.
Then why is it? Then that's not a library. Then that's some. I don't know what that is.
In high school, we had a library, but it didn't have books. Unlike primary, we had.
It's not a library then. We had a library that didn't have books. Then it's not a library then. It's a room. It's a room with shelves. Not a library.
Yeah.
That will work in modern times and actually succeed, where something imported from the West would struggle, to succeed.
It always because your ways are better, because guess what? You're African. So you knew the ways of the soil, of the land, because that's where you've been born and raised for millions of years. Not the white man growing up in the cold where shit don't grow right there. And the only reason why they learned how to grow shit because the Moors went to Europe and taught them how to irrigate land. They were always starving in Europe. Europe was a place of starvation and cannibalism, not Africa.
Knew the challenge of Africa's curricula, and thus began my quest to dedicate my life work to studying, conducting research on Africa's own knowledge system, and being able to advocate for its mainstreaming in education, in research, policy across sectors and industries. Another conversation and experience I had at the bank, I guess, made me take that final decision of where I was going to go, even though it wasn't the most lucrative research to go into, but it's just about what I believed in. And so one day my boss said that he likes to go to Africa to negotiate World Bank loans and to work on World Bank projects.
Of course.
I asked him why. He said, no.
You know why? Because we get a big return on our investment. And these goofy niggas, they steal most of that money, the puppets we put in there. And we get so much money back from the little money we get their ass. And don't shit ever get developed. That's why. Go ahead.
When I go to Africa, it's so easy. I write up my loan documents and my project proposal in Washington, D.C. I go to Africa and it just gets signed. I get the best deal, and I'm back to base. My bosses are happy with me. But then he said, I hate going to Asia, or he mentioned a particular country in Asia and some of these countries.
He named Asia because they're not gonna take these fucked up loans that's gonna impoverish them and their people. Only the African does that. Of course, he said, what's these terms with this loan? Well, you're gonna give back all this money and more, and then if you don't do it, we're gonna take some of your shit, and that's fair, right? See, white people are predatory, like a wolf. They prey. Everything they build is predatory. God damn.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to get the best deal for their countries. They get the best deal. They tell me, oh, that clause will not work for us. In our environment, in our, it's not our reality. It's so Western. And they tell me, oh, we have enough experts to take care of this. You don't have enough expertise. We know. And they just keep going through all this. And by the time they finish, yes, they get the best deal, but I'm so exhausted and I don't get the best deal for the bank. And we're in business. Really? I thought in my head. Okay, I was privileged to sit in on a loan negotiating session in an African country. So I would do this consultancy position during summer, since I was a doctorate student. And then I traveled with the team, with the World Bank team, as more like someone to help out with organizational matters. But I sat in during the negotiating session. I had mostly Euro-Americans, with me from Washington, D.C. And I looked across the table at my African brothers and sisters. I could see intimidation on their faces.
Of course.
They didn't believe they had anything to offer the great-great-grandchildren of Mungo Park. The owners of Apple in A is for Apple. They just sat and watched and, just give us, let us sign.
Of course, that's what they do. That is what they do. And that's why she's talking about, because that is literally dealing with the Afrocentric education, literally. Because how do you decolonize Africa? These are the type of education and information that needs to be given back to the people, literally. You can't teach people A is for apple, B is for boy, G is for girl, C is for cat. What type of bullshit is that? Like, what type of do you guys study that? A is for apple, B is for cat, C is for whatever. Do you guys do that, Keith? I think I lost Keith there. He's trying to put his earpiece back on. But literally, as we wind up with today's show, because I've gone literally 15 minutes over my time, I want to appreciate everyone who has joined us. But literally, those are some of the keys of how Africa needs to, you need to understand how we have been colonized. Number one, how miseducation has played a very big role on our history. Then you talk about how we can introduce Afrocentric education by addressing also the miseducation, the key points that were missed on also the education we're given. And I think the last conversation I've left out is how colonization played a big role in our colonial or educational system, which is very much understood based on everything we're talking about, even that lady explaining. Exploitation is one of it, which is through exploitation, they use this to keep us miseducated, literally because they benefit a lot. But that has been my time with you guys. Much love, so much. Thank you so much, everyone, has been with me this amazing morning. To those who's gonna be catching this on a replay, hope you leave your comments behind. Catch up with Iwaton. She's coming back in a few and say what's popping with our conversation. Much more news and updates from Africa, the continent itself, as you see what is happening right there. But
how long does that mean?
It's you.
Shit, what the fuck is going on?
It's you. But yeah, much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful rest part of the day. I'm gonna be winding up with Charlie, one of my favorite jams right here. Shout out to Charlie Wilson, literally. And see you guys later on the Africa Today show. But remember, we have to bong it as well.